Welcome to Digital Asset News, to get top stories in cryptocurrency, digital assets, and break them down to bite-sized pieces. Today, I want to talk about not what's going on in the news, because the whole news is what is going on with the market. And this is something that I said yesterday in my video, where everybody was on euphoria, a nice little cloud nine, because they were talking about everything's going to go to the moon. This is the most fantastic thing. And I said, you know what? Usually when this happens, when things are going in a certain direction, it's best just to pull back and just take a real deep look at what exactly is going on. Also, I want to take a look at the comparisons of the 2017 bull run and the corrections that they had along the way, as opposed to this 2021 bull run, and how institutions may or may not be playing into that factor. And then finally, I want to talk to you about the most ridiculous price prediction I've seen on the internet to date, and how you really need to really wise up to what is going on around you. Anyhow, so we'll get into all that stuff, but first I want to talk to you about what's going on in the market. So I had a really good message from somebody on Twitter, and they said, "Hey Rob, just want to say thanks for all your memes," which I don't like that memes, but I know he's talking about. He says, when you talk about, traditional markets, a 20% drop is devastating, but in cryptocurrency we call that a Tuesday. And that is exactly what is going on today. So if you are new to this space, first of all, welcome. I envy you. You are in the right place at the right time. This probably doesn't seem like it right now, but just it's like weather in Texas. If you don't like the weather, just hang around for a couple hours, it'll change. And it's the same thing with cryptocurrency digital assets. So let's take a look at what's going on. First of all, it is, what time is it? January 11th at 9:20 a.m. El Paso, Texas time. And here's what we have, what is going on. So Bitcoin, a little bit of a tumble, 20% down, and now it is at 31,000. If you remember, we were hitting major highs of 41,000 almost. And it seems like there was no end in sight. And right now, if you're new to it or you just got in recently, you're probably hating me because I don't really seem that concerned. And this was the exact things that I thought about in 2017, actually 2018, when I would watch people on YouTube and I'd be like, who is this jerk who's like thinking this is like no big deal? This is crazy. We just lost like 60%. Actually, I was thinking this as it started to roll up too in 2017. And I'm going to show you something which is going to put this all into perspective. And it's not going to make much sense now if you're new, but just trust me, when you're here, it will make sense. So I don't know if this is actually going to be able to play for volume. I'm going to try, but this is exactly what it really is. That's me. Well, not really me. That's a much more handsome version of me. And this is 2017 buyers. That is that is essentially what I am. And what we have here is essentially 2021, 2013, and then S-Coin holders. Let me turn this up. Hope you can hear that.
First time.
But you see that guy right here? This guy right here, the 2013 top buyers. I don't know if you can see my mouse. Right to the left of James Franco there. Excuse me. That essentially are all the people that is like, I don't really care because I bought it so low. And then me and the people who came in 2017 were like, I don't care because we bought it at whatever we bought it. And if you bought it in 2017 at the all-time high, and then you came back in 2021 and bought it at the all-time high, well, maybe you should watch this channel or some other channels a little bit more, because it's not the way to go. I have been dollar cost averaging for the last 4 years to get into this position where I am in right now. And it sucks, and it's very boring, and nobody believes in you, and that's okay, because you got to believe in what you're doing, because everything goes in these 4-year cycles like we talk about. It always goes, and hopefully it continues this way, that we will have a halving, which will happen in 2012, halving, 2013, all-time high, 2014, dip, 2015, reset, 2016, we had a halving, 2017, all-time high, 2018, we had a major dip, in 2019, we had a reset, 2020, we had a halving. 2021 will be our all-time highs. 2022, I believe, will be a major dip. 2023 will be a reset. 2024, it'll start all over again. So I'll be here for the long haul. I'll be here for this bull run, for the dip, and I'll be here to educate all the new people that come in for 2025 and beyond. And that is what I've chosen to do. Hopefully I've helped some people out. And that is what is really going on. So that is just one aspect. So let's move on. And this is something that I said yesterday in the video. I'm going to splice that in right here because I don't think I can do it the way I'm recording right now. But basically, everybody was so happy about yesterday. And as well they should be. It was a great time, right? Everything's going great, whatever else. But as time has gone on, I've just learned that when everybody's going, when the herd is going in this direction, and there's like a critical mass of everybody going, you got to really just step back and go, what the heck? What the heck is really going on here? Because it isn't. We can't all go this way. Somebody's going to do something to divert. And I think that's what is going on here. So there's always going to be a correction. There's always going to be people taking profits, and that's okay. I mean, if they want to take profits, and traders and people are getting liquidated and whatnot, sure, that's just how it goes. But you have to understand that when everything is such at this at like a euphoric moment, just take a step back and go, is this really where we are all really going, or am I being led by the hand down a dangerous path? Not that it's going to be that awful. I mean, look, we're going to have a correction. This is going to rectify itself, and then before you know it, we'll be all the way back to all-time highs. And so let me just splice in that video right here, and then we'll go on to the next piece. Because you have to understand, as more institutions come in, that means that it's institutional, traditional market money. And what is 100% liquid all the time? Cryptocurrency and digital asset markets. The other markets, they shut down. Cryptocurrency never does shut down. So when people say, there's a decoupling, yeah, kinda, but not really, because as more institutions come in, they put more money into it. At some point, they'll be like, and especially if the stock market starts to go down the tubes, like people are predicting at some point, but they've been predicting that forever, so who knows. If that keeps happening, you have to understand these traditional market players that are just like the hedge funds, the ones that are just like institutional investors, not like the big guys like MicroStrategy, but all the little ones that are getting in, they're going to start selling. And they're going to start selling in mass because they need to cover some losses. And this is exactly what Mike talks about. He says, if the speculative bubble bursts, Bitcoin will go down for a while. There's just too much correlation between people with risk assets. If you've made a ton of money here and you're losing a ton of money here, at one point you're going to take some profits where you've made money. And so if the S&P was down 20% in the next 3 days, Bitcoin will be lower, not higher. So I know people think, oh no, it's a great asset and it's schmuck insurance like Chamath Palihapitiya says. That's true, but you have to understand that people will still not see it that way. And I was actually talking to Alex Mascioli over the Alex Mascioli, and he's the head of institutional service at BQuant. He talks with billion-dollar hedge funds all day, every day. And what he told me made me realize that there aren't as many steady hands as you would like to think out there. And I will let him explain it in his next video. I don't want to take the thunder, but it made me really start to be a little bit more pessimistic at what's going on. Now, I'm not saying that Bitcoin's not going to be great and the cryptocurrency is going to be great in 2, 3, 5, 10, 20 years. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying in the near term, expect major volatility. And that's just the way it is. And especially with what he told me about these institutional players. I got to tell you, the more that I get into it and people talk about smart money, it's not smart money. They're just a bunch of gamblers. And that's really what it comes down to. And we see this all day long, right? We see the MicroStrategies, we see the Mass Mutuals, we see the Paul Tudor Jones, we see everybody coming in and we think this is fantastic. There's no way that this can actually go down. And this one's totally different. And maybe everybody's right, but am I the only naysayer out there that like, you know what, I don't trust everybody. I don't trust everybody when everything's going in one direction. Are you trying to screw me over? Are things really... Sometimes I just don't think that everything is just Sugarland and rainbows and magical gumdrops. I always have to be a little bit cautious because not just from what happened in 2017, you have to understand that, I mean, I've made businesses, I've done pretty decent, we'll say, but I've also had some big failures and I've learned from those failures. And one of those things that I've learned is to be cautious and to minimize what is going on around you as far as volatility and to minimize risk. Okay, so I splice it in and here's what it all comes down to. Yeah, like I talked about, it's all going to correct itself. It's okay. It's going to keep going up. So let's take a look. And this was a great tweet that I found from Vijay Boyapati. I hope I said that right. And he says, in the 2017 Bitcoin bull market, whoops, hold on, let me do a close-up here. That would probably be better. He says, in the 2017 Bitcoin bull market, corrections found demand after drops from 30 to 40%. 30 to 40%. 2017 bull run. That's pretty amazing, right? And so I just want you to remember this if you're new. In the traditional market, anything above a 10% drop is like earth-shattering, you know. And for crypto, you know, we call that a Monday morning. Not a big deal. That's just how it is. Because I really do think that if you ever wanted to do trading in the traditional market, everybody should just start here in cryptocurrencies and digital assets. Because if you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. It's like New York. Because if you can stomach 40% dips, then a 5% drop over there, you'd be like, what are you guys all crying about? Don't be a bunch of babies. This is nothing. Over in crypto land, we do this every day. So that would be a great training ground. But this from VJ, he compares 2017 to 2020. He says, in the current bull market, demand seems to appear after corrections between 15 to 20%. This is probably indicative of a difference in buyers retail versus institutional today. So I need to blow this up. And this was 2017. So we're going from actually 2016 to 2017. So here's 2017 right here. Then we would go up and we'd have these big dips, 33%. And we'd go up and we have like a 38% dip, up 36, up, down, seesaw, right? Big dips. And I remember these things and it scared the hell out of me. Now I'm like, whatever. So that's what we have for 2017. Now let's take a look at what's going on in the current. So we're on 2021, and this is what people were talking about. And I'm still concerned about it. It's speculative. We'll see. When I see these types of ranges, because people always say, well, no, don't worry, because the institutions are here, and they are going to, totally stabilize the markets, and there's not going to be these big wild dips like before. So, I mean, yes and no. I mean, we're not going to have 30% dips, but we still get like 20, 25% dips. So I guess, hey, 10% less, that's pretty good, I suppose. And this is exactly what he was drawing. So here we are in December. We've had, a little bit. So really it comes down to right here, the 14th. And we're going up, little dip. Up, little dip. And then here we had a dip at 20%. And then come over here when we had 40,000. Now we're hitting another 18 to 20%. And who knows where it's going to land. I tend to think it's going to be like 20, 25%, maybe 30% like before. And some people are like, no, Robbie, you're an idiot because all the institutions are here. So it doesn't really matter. Keep your eye on the prize, because really what it comes down to is this. Whatever price action happens today, you have to be an investor. And that's why, if you want to trade, that's cool. Like I've done a little trading. I suck at it. And that's why we do the Trinity of trading with CJ from Market Rebellion and Weston from TTC, because I don't know what the heck I'm doing. And I'm just dabbling into it, and they're teaching me. So we do those videos. We'll probably do it once a week. But the bulk, the lion's share, 95% is me being an investor, is just putting money in and then just leaving it and not giving a care in the world, because it will all work itself out. And this actually reminds me of the Warren Buffett millionaire bet, $1 million bet. I don't know if you remember this, but around 2009, Warren Buffett, he challenged all the large hedge funds and said, hey, you guys suck, and I'm going to bet you $1 million that if I just put money into the S&P 500, I will beat the pants off you in a decade. And nobody took it. None of the hedge funds were like, no, we pick all these great stocks. We can get you trading. We can get you all this stuff. And so he said, sure. And one company, one big, large hedge fund, billion-dollar hedge fund, took him up on it. And 2018, 2019, somewhere around there, they compared it, and it wasn't even close. Warren Buffett beat the pants off him. And they paid him $1 million. And of course, Warren doesn't need it, but it was a great lesson. That's one I will never forget. So it's the same lesson here. So you can trade, you can do whatever else you want to, but just look at the historical data and then go from there. I just think it's best to be an investor. That's all. I've made the most money being an investor, and doing all the trades and whatever else in the beginning when I started didn't really work out. Anyhow, let me know what you think about that in the comments section. I'm sure you'll have some opinions. That'd be great. And let's move on to our last piece. So our last piece here, it's just getting crazy. It's getting crazy. these price predictions. And I don't know, it just seems kind of ridiculous that we have this type of thing. Let me blow this up actually so you can really see this. Oh, I can see it right there. Nah, I gotta show it to you. So this right here, my top 5 altcoin picks and predictions, Moon Lambos and such, whatever else. Okay. So this was actually from Alex Mascioli. He had lost his mind, and I want to show you what was said in his video. So he's going to give you a price prediction. I'm going to tell you exactly how wrong he is. So let's take a listen. Hopefully you can hear this. If not, I'll splice it in.
Thought into this. Took a bunch of those predictions, in mind, and looked at some charts, some sentiment data, and I came up with this. Bitcoin is going to hit $367,192 on June 3rd. Yep, 367,192 on June 3rd. Second bonus, you ready for this? Ethereum. This is like one of the greatest money makers of all time. I mean, percentage, capital gains wise, you guys are screwed if you've had this forever because you're making so much money. I wouldn't trade it. Just hodl it, because after the prediction I'm about to give you, you're not going to go anywhere. You're going to have that altcoin lifestyle. Ethereum, my prediction, $126,548. $126,548, and that's happening September 17th, folks.
Okay. Alex has lost his mind. So that was actually a parody, and it was pretty damn funny. If you haven't watched that video, I'll link at the very end. And really, what it comes down to this is that no one has a crystal ball. No one knows what's gonna happen. I mean, we can take a look at historical data and play it from that. And even I had a pretty crappy prediction when I first started YouTube. When I put this video out where I said XRP was going to like $500 or something crazy nonsense, and of course I was wrong. That's why I stay away from predictions. And me and Alex were talking about it. He's like, God dang, he goes, there's so many, this is craziness. And whatever you want to say about it for the market, I mean, people did put a lot of money in, but that's not what I'm here for. I mean, it is funny, everything else. What I'm here for is to be a boring, wet blanket. I'm sorry to say that. That's exactly what I am. And I just try to just rein in. I'm like the opposite side sometimes, and just a little bit more of a reserved voice, because you never know what exactly is going to happen. So just play it safe. And then, just take a little bit of advice from me, a little advice from somebody else, a little advice here and there and whatever else. I mean, I can't give you financial advice, but just like the philosophy, just to go from that. And I did my 2021 price predictions, and everybody's like, you're dumb. Those are so low. I'm like, well, I want to be conservative because that's just the way I see it. If I tell you that it's going to go like this crazy number, whatever else, and it might, then hey, great. But if I just say, be a little conservative, this is the most conservative low number I can give you, and that's what I did on those price predictions. I'll link that at the very end. Then if I'm wrong, hopefully I'm wrong, and it goes way higher, I don't think you'll be too ticked off at me. Like, Rob, you're an idiot because it actually 10x'd instead of, or it actually 50x instead of your 10x. Great, sure, whatever, I don't care. Dare to be dumb. And that's about it. So anyhow, thanks so much for watching this video. I'll link Alex's thing at the end, at the end of the thumbnail. And that's it. So thanks again, and that's it. So appreciate it. Have a good day. Bye.